Spoilers! If you have not watched Avengers Infinity War yet, turn off this video now. This is your one and only spoiler warning. We just got back from the movie. We are going to be talking about everything that happened in Avengers Infinity War. We're feeling a lot of feelings right now.
I have too many of them.
Yeah, so if you have not yet watched the movie, this is your one and only spoiler warning. We're gonna start talking about spoilers. I am not kidding. In the next 5 seconds, it's a big spoiler. We're gonna ruin it, so turn off the video in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spider-Man! Spider-Man! How do you kill off Spider-Man? How?
I'm so sad.
How do you kill off Spider-Man? How? There's no way.
That's literally the worst part of that movie.
When he looks up at Tony Stark.
It's like, Mr. Stark, I don't want to go.
And then
I don't want you to go either.
How?
Me
You
either.
can't kill During that moment in the theater, though, we both agreed that the second Spidey died.
Yeah, so like Spider-Man died and I looked at him and I was like, those people aren't all dead.
Yeah.
I would have believed it because they killed off T'Challa, they killed off...
that was the first moment I questioned it. Because I'm like, Black Panther,
no,
Wakanda forever.
I was like, no. And you were like, no, because Shuri could be it.
Right,
I was
right.
I was like, I mean, I really doubt it, but like, maybe. And then they killed off Spider-Man, and like you said, they already have Homecoming too.
Right. And Black Panther too. They already announced that
Yeah.
now too. Kevin Feige already
So
said
like,
that.
they're gonna be back.
And you mentioned to me that Bucky becomes Cap in the comics.
Did I mention that?
Yeah. About the Winter
There's,
Soldier
like,
becoming
like,
Captain
the,
America.
Like the Winter Soldier, they do a bunch of nods back. So like in Civil War, like a bunch of the things were kind of swapped. But I said that I think that if they were gonna kill off either Cap or Bucky, they were definitely gonna kill off Cap. And they killed off Bucky.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I mean, they kill off every Guardian of the Galaxy except for Rocket. I went into this movie telling her
he was like,
I want Rocket to live.
he was like, I don't care who dies. I don't care who dies. I just want Rocket. And I was like, Rocket? Of all of us?
I'm just like, I'm feeling so many feelings.
I went in saying that I wanted, like, my number one thing, I was like, I just want Gamora to die because I hate Gamora. Like, she ruined all of the Guardians movies for me, and then they made me like her so much in this one that, like, when it comes to the time for Thanos to get the Soul Stone, I was like, don't kill her.
No. I mean, I felt for Gamora in that scene.
I know.
When she has that realization that, like, he needs to kill the one thing that he actually
and
loves, and it's her.
Herself.
Oh, when she takes the double-edged knife
and
that we see.
it turns to bubbles.
The bubble thing, though, I gotta say, really awesome effect. I wish there was more of that with Thanos using the stones, because I thought those were some of the best action set pieces.
Bubbles.
He had the reality stone, and he's like morphing space and time. When he got the time stone, oh my God, Vision! When Vision dies.
Everything.
And then, like, Scarlet
I feel like
Witch.
we're just, like, saying everything that dies in a very cluttered way.
I mean, that's how we've got to do it, though. This is our first ever reaction. This is us talking about the movie after coming out of it. Like, when Vision and Scarlet Witch have that scene.
Yeah.
And then...
Because I'm a big Scarlet Witch fan in the comics, and in the universe, I've never really liked her that much. And when he was just like, I'm sorry, it has to be you. It's so unfair that it has to be you. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah. That first scene with them, I actually really liked, too. The one that's in Scotland. Yeah. Where they're fighting the dude with the glaive and then the girl.
Scarlet Witch is bomb.
She's pretty cool. And then, oh my God, when Cap comes back in that scene, when, like, the train runs by and then you see Cap standing there.
I
don't even like Captain America. I wanted Captain America to die in this movie.
I really like Captain America.
I didn't want Tony to die.
I didn't want Tony to die either.
We thought he was gonna die.
I thought oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I've never hated Chris Pratt so much in my life.
When he
I love Chris Pratt.
Though, admittedly,
I hated him.
Star-Lord was one of the best parts of the movie. Even though he screws up the plan, he had some of the best lines.
He had some good lines, but I wouldn't say he was one of the best parts of the movies. He kind of everything.
I mean, he did mess up a lot of stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna game and watch that out because you dropped the non-we Disney thing, even though we're reviewing.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I'll remember.
He messed everything up.
He messed everything up, and I just like that entire scene where they're pulling the gauntlet off of Thanos, or they're trying to, and you've got like Spy and Iron Man there. You've got Mantis on his head. You've got Drax holding him down from behind, and then you see, oh my God, like when Mantis says he's feeling anguish. And he comes to the realization that, like, Gamora's dead. Oh, my God.
Nebula really didn't help there either. Because Nebula knew, and I was like, Nebula, shut up.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait until you have the gauntlet, then come to all these realizations. It's a very inconvenient time.
But that scene that they set up in Nowhere with the Collector, where they're all standing there, and then like he chops up Drax and
Oh,
Mantis.
and Mantis, and you thought they were dead.
I thought they were actually dead, but I'm so glad that scene was there to sort of set up the stuff with Star-Lord later in the movie, because then otherwise, I feel like that moment where Star-Lord realizes that Gamora's dead wouldn't have had much weight if that scene or like the meet the parents scene didn't happen in nowhere. Yeah, because I love that when he's like, right when he's about to shoot Gamora, and he's like, I like her, and he turns to bubbles,
and he's like, I like him, because he knows that Star-Lord would do what needs to be done, and that was Thanos' whole thing, is that he was like, he's kind of like one of those anti-villains, because he's like, guys, it's finite resources. We don't have enough. We have to do something.
Right.
This is the something. And everyone's like, you're a terrible madman. And he's like, but I'm trying. He's like, it's either half of everyone or no one. Like, what do you want?
Yeah. And I agree with you and your dad.
Yeah.
Which is that it's actually a good reason for wanting to wipe out half the universe.
Well,
to keep things in check.
It's literally, but it's either because how it shows his planet Titan and how it was prosperous and how they had everything, and then they ran out.
Yeah.
And he was like, we can all die, or we can kill half the people,
Exactly.
and half of us will survive. And he's like, not trying to say kill all the poor. He's not trying to say kill all the bad people. He's like, make it fair, make it even. Just kill half of them, like,
random,
equally.
snap of a finger.
Like if you like notice when he like first met Gamora. On the planet, they sectioned off her planet into 2 pieces and then shot half of it, and the other half got to live.
That was a really beautiful scene too, when like he gives her the knife and he's like, see, everything has to be kept in balance, and he looks and just goes like this. No, look away. I was pushing her head in the other direction. It was like my face grabs you. Yeah, no, I grabbed your face. I just like, I can't even talk right now. That movie was absolutely insane. I think the special effects in this one were incredible too.
Oh,
yeah.
I honestly, like, I know it's silly, but I was like, how do they get that to turn into bubbles? How do they do that?
Yeah, Thanos not at one moment, he's totally CG in the movie.
Is he really?
Totally CG. And at not one moment in the whole film did I think, oh, I'm looking at a CG character.
I didn't even know he was completely CG. I thought it was all prosthetic.
Completely CG. Yeah. So clearly they did a really good job, especially when you feel his emotion. When you feel his emotion in that Soul Stone scene. Oh my God, the Soul Stone scene. Red Skull. What? I thought that was going to be Hela.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Hela.
That being Red Skull is crazy.
I'm surprised they didn't bring Hela, like, in at all. I know she's supposed to be dead, but I mean, she's like the goddess of death.
Yeah.
I really thought Hela was going to be in there.
Yeah, because in the comics, he's doing it all for death. Like, he kills half the universe to appease death.
Yeah, he's like, do you want to be together now?
Yeah.
Okay, and she's like,
No.
And he's like, what if I kill everyone? What about now?
My God, like...
Babe, kill everyone.
I don't want to kill everyone.
Half the people.
I don't want to kill half the people. I'm fine. I would lose half my subscribers overnight. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be Bob Sponge. No, like, I really do think, like, Josh Brolin was the MVP of this movie. He was an incredible Thanos from beginning to end. You felt for him, like I said, in that scene where he gives up Gamora, I felt for him. I thought Tony Stark was amazing in this movie.
Oh, he was so good.
I thought Spider-Man was amazing in this movie.
Spider-Man's always amazing.
Yeah.
I really didn't hate anyone. Like, I have like a strong dislike normally for Gamora and for Bucky, because like they're just not my favorite types of characters.
Yeah.
And I liked both of them.
I could hear the fangirls screaming
at me,
for that final moment with Bucky when he goes, Steve, and he reaches out and then
he's gone.
But I don't really like Bucky, so he could maybe stay dead. I think everybody who turns to Ash at the end of the movie probably end up coming back.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're gonna reverse them.
So you agree with me that Gamora, Loki, and Vision are probably all dead?
They're probably dead.
Yeah,
because those were like actual deaths. So like, and then the other ones were being kind of like just disappearing, because he was like when he explains it, he's like, it's not painful, it's not anything, like you just cease to exist.
Right.
So I wouldn't even think of it as they're dead, like as more of they never existed.
Right.
Whereas that like Gamora, Loki, and Vision all died.
Yeah, and that's been done before in works of fiction. Like, we've seen things where, like, you cease to exist.
Yeah.
Or you wipe you out of existence.
Also, in comic books, the whole thing is no one ever dies.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
They come back somehow. That's how you have, like, at the end with Captain Marvel, she was Miss Marvel. Everyone thought she died after her fight with Rogue. Then she comes back.
That post-credits, I'm glad you said that, because we haven't talked, we've been going for 9 minutes. We haven't even talked about the post-credit scene.
Captain Marvel!
Oh, when Nick Fury looks at the thing, he's about to swear, and he drops it, and he's sending it.
I thought that it didn't click, and it wasn't going to send, and then it sent, and I was like, and I wasn't expecting it to be Captain Marvel. I should have been expecting it.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the 3 characters that were missing from this movie that I think are going to play a big role in the next one are Clint, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and Wasp.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense to me. And Captain Marvel, right? But like, technically we haven't even met her in this universe yet, but like Ant-Man we do. And we already know that Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out, and we know Captain Marvel's coming out, and now it makes sense as to why those movies are separate, because they'll use them.
They probably didn't have them in here because they're gonna have a movie before this.
Exactly.
Before the second Avengers.
Exactly.
I wonder like where in the time, how that's gonna work.
Well, I think...
Are they just gonna kind of like ignore the fact?
I could see Ant-Man and the Wasp happening concurrently with this movie.
Do you think so?
And then the post-credit scene being where half the universe is wiped out or whatever. I see, my thought, this is where my mind's going right now, because I love Ant-Man. There's a lot of people who don't really like Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man.
Even there's like this one panel in the comics where he's sitting on a shower and he's just like, being Ant-Man is the best. Ant-Man's hilarious.
Him. But in that movie, if you remember, what's it going quantum, or what's the thing at the end of the movie?
Oh, where he goes really big?
No. At the end of Ant-Man, when he shrinks so small that he's like basically in another universe.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like the quantum realm or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I feel like that is going to be the answer to where everybody else is. I feel like
so you think that they don't cease to exist? They're existing somewhere else?
I think it's like either somewhere else or like in a multiverse or something, or like, because comics love their multiverses. I feel like there'll be maybe alternate versions of themselves. I don't know, but I have a feeling that like that scene in Ant-Man is setting up, and specifically because Ant-Man wasn't in this movie, is setting up to maybe have something to do with the next one.
I was just really surprised that Hawkeye wasn't in this movie, because like even all the memes on the internet were like, guess who's dying first? Hawkeye.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in it.
But in the comics, Hawkeye's alternate version is this really cool character named Ronan. And so I'm thinking they're going to introduce Ronan as
I mean, Hawkeye in the comics was pretty cool.
He is pretty cool in the comics.
They just kind of, they were like, give him some arrows.
Yeah. But back to Infinity War, because I feel like there still isn't stuff that we touched on. The music in this movie really stuck out to me. One, because all the original tracks were good. But two, they did such a good job of actually using the themes that they set up for each of the characters as they appeared in the movie. Like you get a little bit of Black Panther in there when you go to Wakanda.
All that reminded me of was, like, because when they're in Wakanda and then Black Widow.
Oh, yeah.
And they're saving Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, yeah.
That was great.
Oh, I love the not Scarlet Witch, the Black Widow and Okoye matchup was really cool. Scarlet Witch is the one who ends up doing it, though, because she pulls that giant blade thing.
Yeah, but they were holding their own.
They were holding their own.
My favorite was the Okoye was like, why hasn't she been out here the whole time?
Right, yeah.
Because she's OP.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. No, that whole scene, our audience, even though we were at like an 11:30 matinee, was very receptive to the movie. They were cheering at pretty much every scene. When Thor, oh my... Listen, I am not even a Thor fan. I'm really, honestly not a Thor fan.
I was a Thor fan.
I hated Ragnarok.
I wasn't a Thor fan.
Hated Ragnarok. And I am totally on board the Thor train now.
I'm on it.
That scene.
I would drive it.
When he makes Stormbreaker and he's holding down the whatever it was, the lens. He's keeping it open. Oops. He's keeping the lens open so that like the star can wish its power into Stormbreaker.
Mine was when he comes back to Wakanda.
That's what I'm saying.
And then Hulk is like, oh, y'all in trouble now.
And he has Stormbreaker, and you got Groot and Rocket on either side of him, and it's like, oh!
I know. I actually thought that they didn't do enough with Stormbreaker, like, cause like the whole, like it was just like.
It was just kind of there. Yeah, they didn't really do it. I mean, he was wiping out just hordes of enemies with it.
And in the part where like his eyes go white, he gets his eye back.
He gets his eye back from Rocket, which was such a great moment. Oh my God!
It's like, oh, you may want to watch that.
I did love though that scene right near the ending when Thanos finally gets the stone from Vision and he has all of them.
Yeah.
Thor comes in and he throws Stormbreaker, and you're thinking like, oh, this is it, this is it.
You're like, oh, it's gonna be saved.
And then Thanos looks and goes, you should have aimed for the head. Whoo! And then half the universe wipes out.
And then, and mine is like, I've never, I get really antsy in movies. I've never been in a movie where I was like, keep going.
I was on the edge of my seat.
Keep going.
Especially not in Marvel movies.
I wasn't bored once.
Not once.
Was like, there wasn't a single slow part in it. And then like, so it clicks at the end and I'm like, all right, we probably got like 30 more minutes. They're gonna solve this.
Right.
And then the credits come on.
Right.
And I was like.
So I was somewhat familiar with the actual comic of the Infinity War, and I knew that it was probably going to end with the snap, especially because they kept building up. So many characters are going, he could end half the universe with a snap of his fingers. So it seemed like, okay, that is where they're leading up to at the ending, and they did it. But the way that they twisted around the story and the characters that ended up dying, it really was completely different from what I expected. I think we thought at least there would be a mix of old Avengers and new Avengers dying.
They kill all the.
They kill all of them.
I think that's like the reason why I was so like this isn't real, is because they killed all the new ones.
Right.
If they would have killed all of the old Avengers, or at least done like a half and half mix, I would have been like, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now I agree with you, though.
But it's just, if they would have left Spider-Man and Black Panther,
yeah,
I would have totally believed it.
Yes, yes.
But since they took those two, I was like, nope.
Because actually, in the comics, at one point, Rocket does become the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So if you left Rocket and he got a bunch of new Guardians,
and literally it was just just Spider-Man and Black Panther. And even Black Panther, I could have been like, what?
Even, I'm thinking about it right now, the post-credit scene of Volume 2 of Guardians of the Galaxy has all those new Guardians that are being set up.
Yeah.
Like, you've got, like, the Sylvester Stallone character and the Miley Cyrus robot
I would
thing.
be really sad, though, about Mantis.
Absolutely.
Because I love Mantis.
Yeah, and her power really is great.
So
like,
cool.
people
just,
sleep on her, but she actually managed to hold her own against Thanos. I mean, what else? We talked about the special effects. We talked about the music. The humor is something we haven't talked about.
Perfect.
I am not a fan.
He hates it.
I hate Marvel
it.
humor with a passion. I hated that they threw it in Last Jedi. So much of Last Jedi were these cringy one-liners. I just hated it.
It's your least favorite thing about every single Marvel movie.
Easy.
And it's like easily why I would say you typically lean towards DC.
Yes.
And I typically love Marvel humor, except for in Ragnarok.
Which was too much.
The humor in this one was just perfect.
Just enough.
And they did a really good job of balancing out like the really sad things that happened with the kind of like humorous things in a way that it wasn't comedy, but it was like, okay, my heart's only breaking a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's why the humor worked for me in this one. One, because it wasn't cringe humor. It came out of the situations.
Yeah.
And two, I think it was just like the movie is so dark that you need those sequences
it would have been too dark.
Of light humor to sort of like ease it up a little bit.
I'm still sad about Spider-Man.
Oh man, I mean the Spider-Man death
I was just
speechless.
I was like, don't cry. You're gonna have to touch up your makeup if you cry. Don't do it.
I mean, I don't know. Where do you think it's going from here? You already mentioned that you think the characters who turn to ash are sort of going to swap with the old Avengers.
Yeah, so because the old Avengers can't be around forever.
Yeah.
And so I think that a pretty clear setup would be that I don't know if they swap because the Infinity Wars is not one of the comic like series that I've read. Like you know actually more about it.
Yeah,
than me.
yeah.
But I do think that they're going to have to kill off a whole bunch of the Avengers. They can't have that many forever. And so I think the ones that kind of just went to nowhere will end up being the new ones. And so somehow they're going to have to swap.
I am thinking about it. Of the characters that are alive at the end of the movie.
They're older. It's Hulk.
Except for Nebula. I was going with it. Because, like, Nebula, like you mentioned to us when we were, like, in the car ride back.
Because Nebula and Gamora, they're sisters, and so, but if you just think about it, so, like, Gamora was always the favorite one. Gamora is the only one that Thanos loved. Thanos doesn't care about Nebula at all.
At all.
Like, Nebula has lived her entire life being tortured by him. Like, she's literally a robot in pieces because he took so much of her.
Right.
I think it would just be so just if Nebula in the second movie was the one to actually end Thanos.
Right. If she gets the gauntlet.
Yeah. Because she does in the comics.
In the comics,
like
right. So I think that would be such an awesome moment to see,
and maybe she's like, I can't like change it, but I can reverse it. I don't know.
Something's gonna happen. I'm excited for it regardless. I feel like we've gone over everything in the movie.
Also, Nebula doesn't have anyone now. She only really
Rocket.
Yeah, but not really. But she only had Gamora.
Yeah.
That was her only, and she hated Gamora because she thought she let her down, but really, Gamora, like, gave up everything to save her sister. Like, Gamora was willing to give up her own life before she was going to let her sister be tortured again.
Yeah. One thing I also really liked that they brought up in the movie were the side characters that worked for Thanos, because I normally don't care about them at all.
Oh, they were pretty cool, though.
I actually thought the Ebony Maw, the dude who's, like, against Doctor Strange.
The Squidward guy.
Squidward. Oh my God, that was a hysterical line. The pop culture references in this were amazing.
Great.
But both of us did not catch it. We caught it in the credits because they mentioned it.
I didn't see the Arrested Development.
Where was there an Arrested Development?
Someone tell me.
Cameo. Write it in the comments down below. Let us know, where did they have an Arrested Development character?
Man.
Or a reference or whatever. I don't know. But man, oh man, like Ebony and then the Proxima, the girl.
The girl.
The
You're
two of them.
so good at names.
Because they'll mention, but I'm good with names with some of the characters.
I'm terrible at names. I'm like, the girl, she had the blue stuff on her face. She like maybe it was
What's
blue
the name?
hair.
What's the name of the planet that Thor went to get Stormbreaker? Hell if I know. I don't know.
Really cool planet that Peter Dinklage was on.
Yeah. Which you
Peter
didn't know
Dinklage
what
Okay, no. So we're sitting there, and so it's like Roger here and me, and then my dad came to see it with us, and so Peter Dinklage shows up, and like it's dark. I have glasses that are dirty, and so like he just kind of pulls his head up, and both Roger, they're like, oh, do you see who that is? And I was like, am I forgetting?
Game of Thrones!
And
Look.
then my dad's like, Game of Thrones. I was like, oh, I thought that like I had forgotten a character in like the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And that they were really excited to see a character brought back. But then it was Peter Dinklage, which I was still excited for because Littlefinger's great. But
Great. We
not
got
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger. Oh, they're gonna
See,
massacre
I'm so
you in the
bad
comments.
with names.
They're gonna slaughter you in the comments for calling him Littlefinger.
Because I hate Littlefinger. Ah.
Oh my God. Regardless, we've talked on for long enough.
know.
I just want to say this. I think, unequivocally,
Yeah.
this is the best Avengers movie.
Oh yeah. Hands
By far, this
It-
is the best.
Just like you said, I would like without even thinking about it, it would be in my top 3.
Yes, in terms of Marvel movies,
Yeah.
I think we're probably the same. Which is the top 3 in no particular order would be this Iron
Black
Man, the
Panther?
original Iron Man, and the original Black
Yeah,
Panther. Yeah. I love Ant-Man.
Yeah, I loved Ant-Man.
I like
But
Civil War. You're not a huge fan,
I'm not a fan of Civil War.
but I really like Civil War.
I like the first Captain America movie. But
I
you're
like the
not-
second one.
The
I like
second
Winter
one?
Soldier, even though I don't really like Bucky. Yeah.
I don't like
And then both the Guardians movies I love. I love the Guardians
I
of the
love
Galaxy
the
movies.
second one.
Which is weird because you hated the humor in Ragnarok.
But
And I
I
feel
don't
like
feel like it's the same.
it's not.
Ragnarok was Kiwi humor, and to me, I would have liked Ragnarok if it was like one of those parody movies. Because I thought it would be a funny superhero parody movie, but I didn't think it was a great Thor movie.
That brings up something that I want to talk about with this, though,
Yeah.
now I'm thinking about it, is that I feel like they did such a good job of pulling in the characterization of everybody, like, and making it feel like you're in this overall universe.
Universe.
Because they're all so different. Like, you watch a Guardians movie, and it's so different from an Iron Man movie, but they all feel like their own characters in this film.
And they all felt like they should coexist in this
Right,
film.
like with the scenes with the Guardians where they're all
No,
like going back and
The
forth.
best scenes were with Thor and
Rocket and Groot and
and
Star-Lord.
Quill. Thor
Oh,
and Quill.
Quill, yeah, for sure.
I'm not changing my voice.
Yes, you are. Drax was hysterical.
Drax is always hysterical.
See, but in the first movie, I feel like he wasn't really super funny.
No.
The
Drax
second
is
one, he
funny.
became.
Drax, he was really.
Yeah, he
was
became a
funny in
joke
the second
machine.
one.
And he's great in this one.
Drax and Mantis together.
Yeah.
Am I ugly?
Who are your 5 favorite characters in this movie?
In this one?
In this one.
Well, Spider-Man's always one of my favorites.
Easy number. Yeah.
Oh man.
I'd say Thanos.
Shuri wasn't in it enough.
Yeah, sure he wasn't in it
But I
enough.
did love Thanos. I thought that literally his like he was just in it. He
Yeah.
was just like the humans in us are like you can't kill half of everything.
No. I like Thanos.
I liked Thanos.
I like Tony.
I
My
always
heart was
loved
breaking
Tony.
when
When
Tony.
I thought he was gonna die. Oh.
Oh my God, I like Tony. I really like Tony. For screwing everything up, I still really like Star-Lord
I
in this
didn't really
movie.
like Star-Lord.
I understand why you wouldn't.
I liked Thor a lot.
I still
in
liked
this
him.
movie.
I loved
They
Thor in this
completely
movie.
redeemed him.
Absolutely, completely redeemed Thor.
They also did a really good job of redeeming Hulk too.
Yeah, and another one
Yeah.
that felt like himself. And you go back and watch his movie, but I wasn't really a huge fan of his movie. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
But I loved him in this, Doctor Strange.
Oh really?
I loved
I didn't
him in
particularly
this.
like him in this.
I thought he was so good. The thing where he was like seeing all the different versions of.
But see the part. Okay, so just real quick.
Yes.
So Doctor Strange and the Thing was like, we're not gonna like. I'm not gonna save you. I'm picking the Infinity Stone
Right.
over anything.
Right.
And then saves Tony.
Right.
So Tony like has to be really super important to it because there's
Right.
no way that Doctor Strange would save Tony. Like the one life over everyone's life. Doctor Strange wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have like broken all of his
Right.
vows.
When he saw the millions and millions, of
Millions
different
of
ways
views,
it was going to
like,
play
there's
out.
only one
Right.
option for us, and I think Tony has to have something to do with it.
Yeah, he's got to be alive in that vision.
Yeah.
So that's why he was like, yeah, take the time
Take it,
stone.
take it,
Yeah,
have it.
exactly. Man, though, man, oh man. Infinity War, amazing.
Go see
like
it.
like we said, top
Well,
3.
hopefully you've seen it.
Hopefully, well,
Say it
yeah.
again.
You didn't sit through a 25-minute video of us talking about how much we love Infinity War and our
Was
thoughts on
really
Infinity War if you haven't seen
I
it.
feel like I could just talk about Nebula and Gamora forever.
Yeah, I again wasn't a huge fan of Nebula or Gamora in the
Before,
Guardians
and then
movies.
I loved it.
Now
also,
I genuinely
I'm
like
just really
them.
happy that Gamora finally got to save her sister.
Yeah,
She
even
finally
if
had
she
a-
dies in the
But she
process.
still finally had a chance. Like that was like the one thing that Nebula was like, you never saved me, you never protected me. I was your little sister.
Yeah.
And then this one, Gamora protected her.
Yeah. Go see Infinity War.
Go see
Seriously,
it.
go see Infinity War.
It's great.
This is just an incredible movie. I think it sets a new standard for the team up giant like crossover films for Marvel moving into the future.
And I also, because I hated Civil War, their big fight scene with all of them, because I was like, I feel like it was just a big mash of characters, and this one did not feel like that.
There was still a little bit of that in Wakanda.
Yeah,
but it was
it's
still enough
still-
where they focused in on singular fights, like
Yeah,
the
it was
Hulk,
great.
Hulkbuster stuff when he's fighting the giant dude, or the stuff with the Koye and Scarlet
Scarlet.
Witch and Black Widow, and
I-
M'Baku. My boy M'Baku
M'Baku!
lives. Wakanda forever, man. Like
Oh.
M'Baku lives.
And
just-
I agree. Yeah, Shuri was the only one that they didn't show.
Yeah.
If she disappeared or not.
Well, her and his love interest from Black Panther.
But she wasn't in it at all, though. Really.
At all, no, yeah.
So like it wouldn't have like it makes more sense for them not to show her, but it doesn't make any like what happened to Shuri.
Right.
I think that she's fine because they didn't show it.
I agree.
Which worries me.
Well,
But she's not really an Avenger. That's
yeah.
fine.
We'll talk about it later. This was our little first impression review / reaction. Again, if you have not already seen Avengers: Infinity War, go see it. We've talked enough.
Sorry we ruined it for you if you haven't seen it.
Holy mackerel. We got to go like recuperate. We got to get some tea.
I need to cry.
Got to relax because apparently One Piece is going to leak tonight too. And it's the beginning of
much
Reverie.
for me.
Oh my god, too much. All right, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Spider-Man!